connection. Public. Let's go live. Is Blade Z. And we're live. Live. Welcome. It's the Thinking Club for C++. Come along, think, write down your questions, or ask your questions on C++ or any other language, not bothered about the language really. And yeah, I'll see what I can do as a reply. And if I don't know the reply, I will find you a reply that I'm happy with, at least some kind of happiness with, at least. And we'll all be happy. Let's do me chair. Okay. Right. Yeah. That's a bit better. As you can see, the program that I'm working on, Amber Skies, is doing all right. You can see that it's going to be a three-dimensional desktop as I fumble over the microphone a little. I'll learn more. That window's not big enough. That's interesting. There we go. I've got a big enough window now so I can say something. Hello to all. All and a Sunday. Well, I meant a Sunday, I think. There we go. Oh, heck. Let's get myself comfy. Looking good, just waiting to see if anybody wants to enter chat. I've got my coffee. I must admit, a spinning cube on a desktop is quite an achievement for me, but not that much really. Let's close this down, shall we? I was just looking today at something really interesting, but I can't really tell you about it because it didn't work. So hey ho, Microsoft. I accidentally hit my head against a Microsoft brick wall, at which point I just say, stuff that idea and chuck it away. There's no point in going anywhere near it. So here we go. What we got here, this is what I was just doing. This is what we need to talk about. I think first, I've got a load of includes here. Look at them all. I've got display, I'm GUI, now set up as an Amber GUI. Display Window 3D, that's been there forever. I'm keeping my maths. I've got GLM, it's available. I've looked at it and thought, I'll keep my maths. I'll change some of the stuff over if I need to, I suppose, but do I really need to? Not at this point. Everything seems to be working as intended. We have file handling, file handlers now, which is text and binary. Yeah, I've put binary in there. We'll have a look at that. The Amber string we know about. That's just a split string and printing it out to the console. OBJ utilities is the bit that I've been working on. We now have a convert OBJ model to binary. To binary. There you go. Yeah, haven't finished it, but we've got a start. Shader utilities, load and compile shaders. We know all about the shader utilities by now, I hope. Let's have a look at them. Let's have a look. Ooh. Blah save. Why not? Heck, I know, I've been messing around. I always do that, I don't know why. You'll notice we've got Module 4. We'll look at Module 4 in a little bit. Actually, no, we'll do it first, it's easy. Module 4 is pretty small. It's a little CPP file that takes the OpenGL utilities, the OBJ utilities, and it runs a command, which is convert the OBJ files to binary. So if we have a look in my file system, which is on a third screen over there, here we go, the project please. We are in development. If we now have a look at our resources and textures, I don't have them. Because they're not in textures, they're in OBJ still. I haven't taken them out, have I? So I've been working with this head object OBJ. Sorry, the box OBJ. So now I have box positions and box colors as binary files. But blades, they're bigger. Yeah, and they still take, well, a tenth of the time to load. Yes. Binary file size, who cares? Compared to text files, how easy are they to read? A lot easier. So I'll have to take those out if you want to see this thing run, because all it'll do is append to the end of them. So it'll double up the information. Don't want that, thank you. So I'll leave that alone. That's my converter. Isn't it big? Did it fit on a screen? There you go, it's on a screen. I'll just leave that there and have a cup of coffee. So yeah, that's what we've got. That's what I did on Saturday, by the way. Isn't that a lot of work? Wait till you see OBJ utilities and say it wasn't a lot of work, because it was. So as we can see, I've been up to something. That's the object converter using the OBJ utilities. So let's go and have a look in there, shall we? Close up. Sole source, we have core. String we know about. File handler has slightly changed. I'll do that one first. We now have, we know about the read text file bit. We've got write binary and read binary files. I've added those. The write binary takes in the file path and file name, or should I say the full file path and a string of data. And the read binary file takes the file path and gives you back a string of data. So string in, string out. Nothing fancy going on there. Here though, yeah, I'll be able to fit these on one string. So we've got the read text file, which we looked at before, and I changed it to inbuffer.good, which was a good idea. Now the binary files are simpler. There we go, that's the binary file on screen. So that's write binary file. You get your out buffer, you open, you stream using the file path, and that is important. That's the line. Set up binary operations and the append operation, so that anything that we write just goes to the back of the file, really. So we're opening it up and telling the system that we are going to add to the back of the file. When it's the first time you open it, obviously it's going to add, well, it's just going to create a new file. So, open, and out buffer we write the data as a C string, because it's in C. This out buffer is in C for some reason, and of course the size of the data to be written out. We flush the buffer and close. If there is an else, something's gone wrong, and we give out the standard warning that the binary file wasn't able to use. When you read a binary file, you do it very slowly. You read it a character at a time. So we get data storage and an in buffer. We open the in buffer, we read a character, we put it to the back of our data storage, and carry on. Yep, and we will return the data storage. So that's roughly all that is doing. So while in buffer is getting characters, it's just adding them character by character into a string. So it's reading binary and placing into a string, and then we just return our string, the full binary file, at the end of it. Very, very simple while loop using a character. I thought I'd do it as simple as possible, so that's the bit that does the reading there. It's just a while loop. So, yeah, very simple. Very straightforward, nothing special going on. I didn't think there's any need for anything special. So that's how I'm doing my file handling. I haven't done a write version of a text file. I don't think I will be doing yet, so we'll leave that. That's the call. Dear I'm GUI, I put setup, start, end, and Amber GUI. So we need to start the GUI and end the GUI each time we go around our main program loop. And in between the start and the end, we can put anything we want. So I've just created a test, an Amber GUI. So setup is very simple. The setup is check your versions. You've seen all this before. Style color dark. Yeah, this is just copy and pasted and implementation for GLFW and OpenGL. So that sets up everything there. The actual start is just new frame. Really, that's just saying new frame. And of course, the end is end frame. So new frame to end frame, and in between those two, we can put anything we want, like a test GUI, which I've put there, which goes in between I'm GUI begin and I'm GUI end. So that's your test. And I haven't put the text to anything size-wise. Oh well, not really that bothered. So that's the GUI stuff. Not really much going on there. You've seen it all before. That's all their files. I've done nothing else there. Display stays the same with Window 3D. Maths stays the same with Dice, Maths, Matrix 4D, Effect 3D in the toolbox. OpenGL, you have your shader utilities which need to be increased. We haven't got there yet. Let's have a look. That's that data structure that I wrote over 3 days. Utilities is the bit that I've really gone to town on. We now have store face, store data, and format file converter. So those are the 3 functions that I've got for the utilities at the moment. The main entry point is the store data. So we store a lot of data which uses store face. Yes, it does. That store data uses store face to set up all the data. And then OBJ file format converter, if you run that by itself, will do everything else and convert a file to binary. Let's have a look at that. So OBJ store face is exactly the same as it was, as you can see. I haven't added textures yet, but that's to come. That is to come. So there you go. It gets up to that point where it's doing the face element. Okay. And store data is just a list of all the types of data that we want to store. As my TV tries to switch itself off. No. Stupid thing. These are all the different types of data we want to store. There is one alteration. I am now using OBJ data, which we need to look at. So this is a new structure that I'm using. I want to do that because I want to make it easier on myself for using those data objects. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting that data object into these files, because this is the OBJ utilities after all. So file converter, it's the start of the program as it was before. Part 1, read the data files, blah blah blah. Okay, that's all the same. Read data text. Slightly changed here because I'm now using a text buffer and an OBJ data, which we'll look at more in a second, because that's a new object that I've introduced. So that is in there in the structure. should pull it out of the structure and put it in here. I can do that whilst I'm here, can't I? So, what I got... right, it's going to be right at the end, because it has to be. There it is. All this is the data structure. So you can see the bits I've cherry-picked and how much I haven't cherry-picked now. Others as needed at the bottom. So if I can cut that out of there, and that can now be saved, and all of that data can go into the CPP file at the beginning. Yeah, these are all now. I can't find it. Well, of course you can't. So I've just cut it. So where we say amber static here at the top, just do that. V, and there it is. It's still in the same namespace, so it's quite happy being in that namespace. Current colour, the way I got around that was just by leaving it outside. Didn't really care about it in the end. So I just left it there. No need to put it inside because I don't really want to make a class. That will take care of everything now if I save it. Okay. Yeah, obj store face, split string obj, yeah, okay. Store face, what's wrong with you? Did I need this outside of here at all? Struct obj data, I think I did. I did. There. So, no. Sorry, doesn't go there. My bad. Cut you back out. Sorry about that. I've just cut it out badly. No, I haven't. What's going on here? Ah, there's the namespace. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. So, cut it out, leaving the namespace in. Thank you. And just pop it over to the header instead. There we go. That should stop everything complaining. That keeps going across, so I'll stop bringing it back now. Yeah, I'll do. Put it in the header. Stuff it. I don't care. That should stop everything complaining. Yes, it does. Thank you. So let's just have a look, make sure we've got everything down here in our file converter. All this does is read text file and then goes to the buffer. Convert data to the OpenGL format. We still do that using this obj data, of course. And all I do is put obj data arrow in front of every single one of these, and I'll show you why I'm doing it that way in a second or two. Positions array size is less than 2, you still get the error. Delete, use all the globals. I've taken that out, it's got to go back in. My bad. So yeah, that should really go back in. At the moment I'm relying on something else to delete them, and I don't think it is. So, string, convert the data, tempf, position array, blah blah blah, converted data, data type, write a binary file, convert data clear. Right, make another colors array, convert to data to temp, write binary file. And there we do, we just write 2 binary files using that format. So, as you can see, that one is going to be our positions, and that one's going to be our colour. And yeah, it's as simple as that to write it out using the file system that I've used, which is write binary file. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? So it all works. That's the only bit we're needing. to add was that converted data, and we just clear the converted data every time we want to do a new one. We do want to do a new one because that should be an if statement. Positions, yes, we are going to have, but now it should be if the color arrays dot size is greater than 2. Yeah, I think it's that. So what we'll do here is if yeah, colors, because remember it might not have colors, array dot size is greater than 2. No, 1. 0, 1, 2. That's 3, yeah. Greater than that. Then we can continue with this lot. So that is a for loop. Go down. Convert data, write data, blah, blah, blah. That has to stay all within the for loop. There. Click, Alt, Shift, Alt, click, Tab. Done. There we go. So if we have colours, you can see what's coming up now. It's pretty obvious. We have the same kind of thing going on up here as well. Colours array here. Push back. You see, we're actually thinking there are colours. So here we can only push back if there are colours to push back. So the way we find that out is, what information have we got? This is now going to be the problem. obj store data text buffer count obj data. Store the resulting data into there. Data to be used. Results are stored in obj data from models. Blah, 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 no, from header file. Struct, which is in this file now. Right, so we're reading the two text files 0 and 1, which means we now have a load of G slashes or G underscores, and our G underscores have face elements, and that's where we're getting all this information from here. obj data face element. So I just need to know from the face element, have we got any colours? Did I store that within the face element? Well, we can see whether we did or not because of this here, up here. This tells us what we're storing here. And in the face element, we store current colour has textures, has normals. So if it has textures, we don't need to save out colours. So that should be false. So where are we writing these out? Or dataing them up? So here, we're really looking at the end of the positions array, looking at the colours array, and saying, hold on a minute, we don't even know if there are any. So what we're looking at is an if statement of our obj data, because we'll be using that structure now. And we'll look at, it's a star, so that. I'll look into the face element. Doesn't really matter which one. 0, 1. Doesn't matter, I'll use 0. And I will look at, does it have textures? I could look at mCurrent color, couldn't I? If mCurrent color is not equal to -1. If it is, then mCurrent color, well, it's greater than -1, isn't it? Or greater than equal to 0. Could do that, really, couldn't we? That would make more sense. In my mind, anyway. So if we have colors, then go ahead and do it. Really? Put that places one of them there. And right at the bottom of the colors array, another one, please. This now means we can add texture just by doing that. Because that was my problem before, is that this was being automatically done, and we don't want it to be, so just tap that up. There we go. So I've added another level, 4. Yeah, that's better. Should be 4. Now what we can do is we can add to this quite easily by putting another if statement in. No, we're still in the if statement there, aren't we? Sorry. Come out of the if statement here. And what we would do now is we can put if, open brackets, obj. This is why I wanted the obj data set up, because we've got control over this now. Obj data, blah de blah, face element, 0 again. Just look at the first one, doesn't matter which one we look at. Has textures. If that is true, then we have textures. And here we can push back our textures, which we'll write sometime. Again, we can now start looking at what information did we actually take and what information do we actually need. We took vertex, we took the normals. Are we using the normals? Not that I'm aware of, but we have them. That's interesting. So, what do we know about our normals? We should be using them, and we're not. I think, if I remember rightly, I think I made up my own way of doing it, just off the top of my head. No, I didn't. I actually included the normals in the texture version. So yeah. Yeah, we're getting them. Material names. Vertex normal. Yeah, we are definitely pushing them back. So where's our face? And on face has normals. We recorded whether we did normals or not. So we'll have here has normals to record if the model has textures, to record if the model has normals. Okay, where do I actually do it? Ah, here we go. Has normals, there you go. If it's got the size of greater than 0, then yeah, we've got normals. So it tells us we've got a check for it. And that's why I was starting to put those has thingies in, because I knew that I was going to need them all the way down here. So now we can also add, you've got it, obj. It's just being made so simple by having functions that is doing everything for us. So it's face element again, 0, doesn't matter which. M has normals. There we go. Whoa, no, not that one. M has normals. Then we have a new if block. Push back our normal data. Just pop that to a note. On this part down here, oh wait a minute, what else do we have? Save that out. You see, these aren't doing anything at the moment, so I know I haven't changed the functionality of this. So struct object data. What else we got? We've got vertex. We've got the normals. We've got the faces. We've got material file names and using materials. How am I actually storing that in the colours? Got it in the colours, haven't I? We are going to need material names, aren't we? Or are we going to have user-defined textures? Let's have a look. What does it look like? Don't worry, just chuck questions at me in chat and everything if you want to chuck a question at me anytime. Don't worry about it. I'll do anything anytime. Project, development, resources, OBJ. Let's look at a textured one. I was doing the head, wasn't I? OBJ. Open with. Open with. Something. Okay. Utilities. Kate. Okay. Thank you. So it says it's in the head MTL. So that's your material. MTL lib. And it's just use material. Thought so. So the answer's in MTL lib. Jeez. That one. Open with Kate. New material, blah blah blah. MTL file, none. Huh? Oh. It's under map KD. And we're not storing map KD, I bet. So map KD is the file name. Let's have a look down here. We're looking at maps. It's that one there. That's map KD, diffuse texture map. Let us check. Let's dig further. Oh, good, we're near the bottom, aren't we? So let's find it. It's a string. Yeah, it's a string. Struct. So that's the one that holds our texture file. Wow, I didn't know that before. Okay. Okay. So here in our utilities, we could have that, couldn't we? I don't want it as a vector though. I just want it as a standard string. Right, got you. Okay. That one. We'll copy. And in our structure, H, we can put da 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 da. What would we put? We would put that. A diffuse texture map. And that would be... what can we call it? Texture file name. Really, isn't it? It'll only read it once. So I don't need a vector. Getting more interesting. And so I've got everything else like that's how you put them into vectors. So that will be star semicolon, and that would be that line there removed. Lovely. So I can pick that up and use it if I wish to. Which goes in here. Have we actually got a KD? We've got that KD. There's not two, is there? Please tell me there's not two. Development, resources, OBJ, head MTL, open with Kate. What am I looking for? No, it's map underscore KD. So I'll need to find map underscore KD. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So looking for something with M's in. MT. We don't have an MA. How's this splitting? Splitting like that. Split string by that. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's vector. Yeah. Did I not split this into two? Okay, is it somewhere here? Is the split between the two files? One's an MTL file, and one isn't. Okay, those KDs and stuff, yeah. I understand that. So this is still using the box thingy. Mm-hmm. Box. OBJ, open with Kate. So V's all the way down to I've opened body box. That one, please. There we go. Let's get the right one on screen. Here we go. Can read this better. So use material is still in that file. Just close that. Oh no, actually just do that to it. So NE, check for material name. No, this stops at face really, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. We will open, that's the OBJ of the material file as well. NE, yeah, it's that one. Is new material. Yep, so it's there. Let's just split that a minute. Because it's the MTL file, I want to put this on that side. So we have... No. Thank you, just hang there a minute. We have NE, KD, yeah. Then we have the D. And I think we can then safely put it after the D. There. There we go. So if line of text 0 is equal to right, yeah, blah. Didn't we just split this down? Why am I doing it this way? This has been split, you don't have to do it this way. I'm being an idiot by the looks of it. Splits by a space. Well, it isn't M space T, is it? It's MT. It'll be VN. We're not using split string. Okay, so we're accessing the line of text. I've got you. Okay. So we need 4. 5. That's not right. We need to be able to pull out the first 5 characters from line of text, which is the first split, which is split string 0. We've already got the answer. No, don't like that. If yeah, split string, that's better, 0 is equal to, open inverted commas, and it will be map underscore KD. That's what I want. That's the check I want. Then we can record map KD. What do we have? Diffuse texture map. So object data diffuse texture map blah de blah equals a new diffuse texture map. And how is diffuse texture map structured? It will just be however it's structured in there. Okay. So it will be obj underscore data, and that will now be give me the right one, you creep. They just call it diffuse texture map. Why is it giving me all of this stuff? Okay. So it's texture file name. Is it? That one. And that's just equals whatever you've got in split string 1. Really? That's it. But that's wrong because it isn't. It's a new. And it's going to be a new one of those. Open brackets. No. Open brackets. And it's looking for amber colon. Yep. Okay. String. Yeah, it's a string. That's fine then. It's just looking for a string, which we've got. There you go. That's correct. And that's how you save out the texture name. That's interesting. Now, how do we put that with our other stuff? Okay, we're making the file. So we've got right binary files. We've decided to put if color array is greater than that. Yeah, that's okay. So now, yeah, we need to add a line there, which is that there. We've used it, don't abuse it. So really all we're going to be doing here is the same again, which is if textures array we don't seem to have one. because we haven't stored one. And we haven't made one. So yeah, we can just make a textures array, can't we? So it's an std vector, colon vector of floats. And we can call it texture array. They are in 2s, not 3s. Storage for the OpenGL texture values. Remember, this has got nothing to do with the texture itself. This is how the texture is placed onto the object. So these are texture coordinates. It's a texture coordinate system. So where we've got that, and we've got our ifs. Has textures. Then we can wait on that one. Run the convert data there. Okay, yeah. If colors, yeah. If texture array is a lump dot size is greater than 1, then we can do the textures. So that will be store texture data to disk and store the texture file name to disk. So it does 2 things, that one. Yeah. And we've got the file name to do it with now. So where we're looking up here at push back our textures, retrieve the texture file name. Okay, we can do that. Normals is straightforward. And all we do is make a norm one here. Do we have a normals array? Index, position, colors, textures. No, we don't. So we will need, yeah, we'll keep needing more and more of these vector. I think that's going to be roughly about it for arrays. Flossed, yes. Any dentist will tell you what that is. Let's see, normals array. And that's storage for the OpenGL. Any questions yet? No? Okay. Just carry on then. Normals data. Is my coffee going cold? Yes. Oh well. Oh man. Yump. Face alignment normals. Yep. Yep. Got those now. We've got normals data. So down here. If normals array dot size is greater than, are we using 1? Yeah, we're using 1. Okay. Store normals data to disk. So you can see how it needs expanding, yeah. But that gives you an idea how these utilities are built. I'm not building them as classes because this is a conversion utility. It runs once and then is never run again for each of the files. So I don't really want this in a main class, just cluttering up the place. It's never going to be used outside of, well, won't be used inside of the final things because the final programs, because we'll have everything converted prior to using the new system, as it were. So convert prior and test prior. So that's it really. I've just got to add the code for that, and that will then work with textured objects, and we will be able to not just, you know, do one thing, we'll be able to do everything with the textures. Line element, maybe a texture coordinate. There you go. That's the one we haven't got there. So that will be we're gonna need that one. Yeah, it's gonna be a standard vector. And it's going to be whatever they are. Space, go back. So it's going to be a capital T for texture. And it's going to be a coordinate. And that's just going to be called textures. Really? Yeah, that looks about right. Struct amber texture coordinate. Yep, happy with that. Happy with that. Go back to here. We're still clobbering. What's wrong with you? Oh right, you've just seen me change something. Alright, fine. Alright, go back to the top. That's storing that, yeah. See, we're storing the indexes, but we're not actually doing anything like storing the textures. It's like, darr. So I've got your indexes over here, mate. Object store data. Okay, texture coordinates is the middle one. Face, yeah, okay. What do they come up as? We need one with textures. VT is your texture coordinates. So we need to be detecting VT. So I've got V, VN, no VT. Okay. If. Yeah, I'll do it properly. Line of text. 0. Oops. Is equal to the character V. And line of text 1 is equal to the character T. And we have a texture coordinate. And that will be JData. And that will be texture. Textures dot pushback. Open brackets. It's going to be a new texture coordinate. Open brackets. And it's just going to be whatever it said up above. It's only 2 though. You don't get 3, you only get 2 on these. So it's going to be an std colon string to float. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah. Float. And it's split string. One dot c underscore str, because it needs a conversion, comma null pointer to do all of it, please. That's just a comma. And it's just a repeat to that. That's done, that's done, that's done. Semicolon. That's all it needs. Now it's storing textures. If they're available, that is. It's that easy. It's that easy to just set things up. So we're now storing textures. We are also storing the texture indexes. So when it comes to conversions, we can now do it properly. So for unsigned int count, blah blah blah, text buffer size count, yep, for unsigned, da da da, delete text buffer, yeah. Results are stored in OBJ, da 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 da. Alright, that's correct. Get rid of the text buffer, correct. Number 0, number 1, right, so it's all stored after we've got past that. Stored. Right, so that's both files read. And we convert the data. Now we have everything here. Positions array, pushbacks. Let's have a look at the list. So it's position, color, texture, normals, position, color, if color, if texture, if normals. Yeah. Well, this is going to be easy. We're using OBJ data twice here. Do we clear our OBJ data somewhere? Or is this a new one? This is a new one. This is totally different to the other one. Yeah, it's totally different. It's here. It's declared here. Where's this one declared? It's declared here, so it is the same. So we're passing in OBJ data to do all of these things here. And then we're reusing it. We shouldn't be. No, we shouldn't be reusing it like that anyway. Those are all pushbacks. When we convert the data, how are we doing it? No. Oh, we're converting it into these arrays. Sorry, God, I'm reading it wrong. We're taking the OBJ data and then we're putting it into these arrays. That's better. Now I've got my head around it. So that will be using the texture array. This is on a counter here. I need that outside the counter. That has to go outside the counter. Be outside the loops. Whatever loops I'm using here, I've got loops going on. I've got to get that outside the loops, and we're done. Magic. So that's where that's up to. Woohoo! That was success. Not bad, eh? I've only just started. I've just dived in and completely rewritten OBJ utilities. Yeah, that's just what I do. Right, but that's not the subject today. That's just me having fun. So let's get some orange juice and have a little break. Here we go, orange juice there. Lovely. Any comments? Anybody want anything? QT Company? What do you want? Build safe and certified applications. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd really love to. Considering you're the ones earning all the money and not me, you tell me. I get to spend for my living expenses £30 a week at the moment. Thanks, QT. You're not having any. I'm saving up to get a Mac. And the only way I can save money is by not spending any. Doesn't bother me. I've really got not much to spend money on, so hey ho. There you go. Ah, lovely. So this is the kind of relaxation I get up to. Making up face elements. Lovely. So once I've completed object utilities and really coded it all up properly, and I'm glad I did that now. So that's AmberSL. That doesn't do much except that just runs the conversion function inside of AmberSL. That's all that's doing. So we know what that's doing. Over here, where am I up to? I'm way ahead. I'm way ahead. I'm already up to developing the model warehouse here. So how do we load in our binary files? We use the binary loader. Pretty obvious, really. So first load the vertex positions. So that's in the positions. Just load it straight in as whatever, data buffer clear. Pushback string, split data count, yeah, blah, yeah. There you go, it gives me your positions array. So index array 4. Count is less than index size, because index size is really all splits how many items of data there are. And then all we're doing is saying for each item of data, we have to create our index array, which is basically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many indexes we have, because we're doing everything in order. Our positions come in order using the same count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one of those is then string to float converted and placed into our positions array. That data buffer is then read for the colours. And again, just split, and for index size, just put your colours in to your colours array. Once you've got your... That depends if there are any. Yes, I know. But I haven't got to that stage here. Haven't got my if, buts and maybes worked out on that part. So part 4, open a window, and this is where we've still got a lot of code, which needs now to be carved up and placed into at least one class. We've got a class now. We're going to have a class called Model Warehouse, and the Model Warehouse is going to... Let's have a look at my piece of paper here. The Model Warehouse is going to first of all initialize the renderer. Then it's going to initialize the models, and this can be placed into an application which initializes a display and has a main loop to render with. So what we have is prepare the warehouse, update the warehouse, and then render the scene. And of course we've got to clean up down here just in case we need it. So in initialize, all we're doing really is initializing the renderer and initializing the current model store. So we're going to need some kind of model storage. I haven't really decided on that yet. So that's what I was thinking about at the moment, how we're going to... Because I just don't want to be doing one model anymore. I'm getting a bit tired of that. I want to be doing multiple models. One must be coloured, one must be textured. That is now the goal. The goal of the Model Warehouse is to store 2 models, first of all, and then to be able to put those 2 models onto a screen. A black screen will do, or something like that. I'm not really bothered about the colour of the screen. So that's the aim of this game, as it were. So if anybody's got any ideas on this, how to go about it, what I'm going to do is I'll probably just take a quick break at this point, because I've got no coffee and I'm not really keen on the orange at the moment. Yeah. Okay. What we'll do then is we'll just run this. I shouldn't have broken anything. I haven't compiled anything. There we go. Alright, so I shall be back in under 7 minutes. Can I put a note of that on screen? Yeah, of course I can. How can I do it on this one here? Just press return a lot. That'll do. Tab, 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 tab. No, don't tab it, just put it here. Back in 7 mins. There we go. Go grab yourself drink. Alright, okay, can pop that on, can't we? Let's see how much fits. That's the beauty of having a clear background. Right. Be right back. found donuts. Jammy donuts. Let's knock the microphone whilst trying to get back into my chair. Here we go. Here we go. Oh no, sorry. Good grief. Oh, there we are. Magic. Let's get that out of the way. And we can stop that. That's probably the last time you'll see that program run. Not sure about that. That's now completely useless. Yeah, that's okay. How shall I go about this? Initialize the renderer and shader. So to initialize the renderer and shader is all the bits below making a screen. Everything below window. That includes, sets up the IMG UI windowing system. That's okay. That might not need to be a star anymore. Let's just check that out. So that, actually I'm just going to copy for now. And I'm using MWindow. So we're going to have that in there. Instantly it tells me to stop doing that. Okay. What does it need? It needs identify window. Yeah, okay. We'll have M underscore. No. Still is. There you go. So that still works. So that's okay. Create shaders graphics card. Here we go. Link, compile, validate, compile, blah, blah, blah. Use program. So at that point, they work. It still seems to me to be a long kind of process, this. I think I would like to at least try and sort out, if nothing else. So if I copy that. Hope I didn't do anything stupid there, because I clicked something by accident. No. If I take everything that was in there and plonk it into here, like that. Oh God, don't do that. Just missed that by accident. Let's set this up properly. No, that's right. Okay. So we've got an absolute ton of stuff here for shaders. And we have to bind our attributes. Oh my God. So what do we got? What have we got? Let's look at it. A doorbell going. Oh dear, what have we done now? It's Monday. Doorbells on Mondays? What's going on? So, create the program. We create the shaders. File name file name basic. Yeah, okay. So we're using the basic vert and basic basic frags. Good for him. He's good to be here. Thank you. For unsigned, attach, bind. Yeah. So we're not doing that much. And then we're linking. We don't have to do that there. Yeah. So then we link, validate, and use. So there really isn't that much it's doing. Well, yeah. That's correct. Oh dear. Didn't realise it was going to be so much information. But it is. Let's take to there. So that now matches up. It looks like I've got visitors. Create the shaders on our GFX card. Yeah, that works now. Checking through as I go. Creating the shaders, attaching shaders. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Check the next part. That's all right. And that's the end of it. Wow, it isn't actually as much as I thought. Ooh. Okay. Now the mod, this, oh, you see, this is all we're after here. Program ID. This is a function. This is a separate function. Return true. All we need is an M program ID. That asks for a shader by file name. So let's convert that into an idea. The idea is that we would have what we actually got program ID stored as. Unsigned int. Okay, that's fine. That's what it should be stored as. So I would put an unsigned int and I will call it m underscore program ID. Like that. M underscore program ID would start off as 0, comma. There we go. That's that done. that's fine now. So we can have, instead of all of this lot here, we could have something simpler, like m underscore program id equals function name. Don't know what the function name is yet. And then it would just be basic. And all that function name will be is create the shaders. So create shaders. Yeah, I like that idea. Amber SL, what do you got under shaderutilities.cpp.h? Check compiler, load shader, create shader. Ah. Compile shaders. Can't really have create shaders then. Compile shaders. Yeah, okay. So here in shader utilities, we can have an unsigned int. Yeah, an unsigned int. Compile shaders, and it would be a const std string and shader name. Yeah. Yeah, like that. There we go. Take you without that. Copy. And we'll pop you in here. After saving things, otherwise it will go nuts. Alright, we've got a nice big space there. What should we do with it? Hey, development, you know all this rubbish you've got here? Well, all I really need to know is the file name. Right, okay, so it's there. All the way down to use program. Yeah. Cut. Paste. And return program ID. I don't know why that's so high off. Oh, it doesn't matter. No. Return program ID. That's all I need. I don't need anything else from this, to be quite honest with you. At the top, file names equals shader name. There we go. Yeah, that reads right. Okay, so I've stored it. Still got file name going through here, that's fine. Program ID all the way through the program, that's fine. And dandy. I'm happy there. Are you happy here? Yeah, I'm happy here. So that was that. And we don't have it. Shader utilities. Yes, we do. That's because it's amber now. I'll put it in amber. Oh, we're not in amber. We're in amber. Ah. And what are our shader utilities in? Amber. Compile shaders. I spelt it wrong. Nope. Save. Move. Come on. Basic. Yeah, it's right now, bro. Yep. What's wrong with it? Undefined. Shader utilities. .h. Shader utilities. .h. Compile shaders. It's saved. It's not saved. Whoops. What I've done wrong there is something quite serious, really. Run build task. Module 1. Error 1. Okay. Okay. 408. 406, 408. Yeah, okay. It's because I've been messing around in here, isn't it? Oh. Four oh six, 408. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Can we try that again, please? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Run build task. Module 1. Invalid use. It is. Invalid use. Because it hasn't done that. Gosh, lazy me, lazy me. Go away, I know. Lazy typing. Come on, get on with it now, please. Thank you. So you're done. You're done. You're all done. I hope. Module 9, development. Whoa, what happened there? Development, that was interesting. No. Here we go. We should be a bit better in here now. So, initialize warehouse. Blah, blah, blah. Program ID, compile shader basic. Yeah. So that now does what that does there. No, that's not right yet. Right, return the line. Return the line, bring back. Take you. Cut. You're the first line, maybe. Oh, look. I can't say that on the line, but a pizza company has just sent me an advert. Don't do that. That should be illegal. QT company, I'm not reading you. Pizza company, don't remind me. I love pizza, but I have donuts. That's looking a bit better. That looks more like a function we can use. So, program ID, we've got that. So that's our shaders. Our shaders are program ID, full stop. The Amber GUI is set up. The program ID is set up. Everything should be happy. Anything else we might need? Can't check run it. Never mind. Doesn't matter. I can take that out. We're not doing that at the moment. We've done it actually, I think, most of the refactoring. Just doing a bit more as we go, obviously, but I've got the files now. Instead of them having a source directory here, I've now got all the files in module 1 where they need to be. So that's fine. That's fine. Still got our load the data buffers. Okay. It's going to cause a problem there. Doesn't cause a problem, no. What do we actually need? Part 5 we've done now, haven't we? We can get rid of it. Create shaders. Yeah, get rid of all this rubbish. Anything to do with shaders, get rid of. Compile. Yeah. Yeah, I did make a mess of my program, didn't I? So all of that down to transferring data to GFX card. Yes, please get rid of. Part 6 is now our nominal area. Don't know how much of a duplication I've made over this, because this looks wrong now. Alright, that's all our other stuff. That's all that. Yeah, that's fine. We haven't really got that much left to go at. We've got 6, which places all the data onto that and gives a VAO. So we need a shelf or something. We need a way of. See, this is where we get the errors now because we haven't got our program ID left in here. Doesn't matter. All of this will still work up to a point. Yeah, we just don't have our locations either. These locations aren't there. That's fine. But we don't need them because we know what they are. I put them in as numbers. I've been cheeky. So it would work. That's transferring data to the GFX card, which is something completely different now. When looking into making a model situation, an entity, and a list of entities, and a map of entities, we're looking completely different. So we need a different approach. It's easy to do the compiler, and it's easy to set up that. What else have we got in the renderer? Is there anything we actually need to set up in the renderer? Or initialize? The only thing we really need to initialize is our variables. I know. So we need a list of VAOs, don't we? So what do we use here? This needs initializing, so we need a window clear screen. That's easy. We've got a window. That's not a problem. We've got the start. That's not a problem. Then all we need now is everything from there to there. Do stuff is totally separate. Update the application. And these are just the updates or fallout, as it were, from anything that we've done. And I still don't know about that. Sorry about the microphone. That line. I wonder what that get draw data does. Let's have a look at why am I red? Oh yes. Yeah, just forget it, it's okay. Doesn't matter, that's red. I just want to now have a look at the I'm GUI situation. Dear I'm GUI. Where's the bit that I want? Example. Here we go. I want to make sure I'm not going to make any good cock-ups in this. So show demo, while, here we go. Show sample, render, blah de blah de blah. Display, yeah, context, current window. Frame buffer, display, yeah, done that. We've got a viewport, we've got a clear color, we've got a clear. And then it comes up with this. Don't need. Already done. So that's the swap buffers there. So it comes before swap buffers. What is it getting? Input output render draw list function. Valid after render and until the next call to new frame. Valid after render? What do you want it for? Query, draw data or null. So it's just a validation. Okay. Seems to be some kind of validation process. Interesting. Yeah, okay. So it's after render to the next one here. Okay, it's some kind of validation process. We've got that far. And what are we doing with this validation process? Nothing. There's the end. I'm GUI render, amber GUI end. Can't run the program. Oh god, I've done it again. What have I done? Control Z. Don't know what it is, but there's a button here that if you press it, it knackers everything up. Okay, but you can see on this right hand side now we are getting shorter and shorter. I can tell you now we're well down into the 400s now, even with the large spaces. So it's come down from 1,000 lines to well under half 1,000 lines. So we've done alright so far. We're going to need an entity system. Right. How shall I do this? I need a new page. I can't do it. I'm thinking, I don't think. I'll call it entities. Right, what are entities? Get rid of that. I'm not interested in red bits. What are entities? Entities are objects, or any model that we place on screen. So, and quite a lot of entities that we don't place on screen. So under entities we can have anything from models, terrain sections, I am thinking also lights and cameras. Is there anything else I've really put into entities? It's got to be able to, an entity has to be able to handle everything. An entity is the generic building block. We're going to think of Lego. Lego is a good idea because that's building blocks. What we need to do now is create a set of building blocks that we can put together, and depending on which building blocks we put together will give the correct result when we render it. So we know we need a position. In fact, what I could look at really here is the data structure, or what we've got available to us at this point in time, because I haven't asked for anything more. It comes under OpenGL. So that data structure, that's what we've got available to us. So let's copy you out of here for a second, shall we? So this is what we have that we can build an entity out of. All of this structure. This is what we can build an entity out of. Just thinking, can I put this into a better light? Yeah, of course I can. Just rename that to .h. .h. Okay. There we go. That's better. I don't care about the errors. So we have available to us at the moment vertex textures, normals, face elements. Don't think we need those. That was the indexing stuff, wasn't it? But we need that replacing by an index. So that point there, that was our indexing, wasn't it? Index. I'm just going to put int index for a second, because That's fair enough. Material file name. Interesting. Once we've got the material and it's on... which material to use? Colours. You see, use material will just be material, most likely. Which will mean that. That needs to be converted to an ID. So the material file name is your texture ID. That is your texture ID. So I'll just put int texture ID. That means that can be ignored. No, it can't. That's the file name there, isn't it? Blast. Have I done this wrong? Right, no colours. So colour IDs. Well, if it's got colours, does it have to store its own colours? Because if it does, it's going to have a lot of data. And it might not need it. This could be a very interesting idea that I'm starting to form. Splitting this down into smaller objects. Because that's the object data. We now need a structure for an entity. I am more likely to call it a class though. And I still do it, still put the extra in. I'm going to have to put some thought into this. And I mean literally just sit back and think about it. That's interesting. So if we can put together an entity and then say load entities, will pull the data files required for that entity straight into the program. What is better, a list of entities or a list of items to pull in to the program? There's a lot of questions because there's a lot of different answers and no right or wrong way of doing this that I can think of. Now this I think I'm going to work on. This is the bit that I like. I like thinking about these things, so I think we need to take a break and catch up tomorrow. I think we've caught up with everything that I've done, and you can now see where it's taking off to. I can finish the utilities off and stuff anytime I need. That's not the problem. Those will be programmed as needed. This is going to be like a linchpin. You see, the entity, I don't really want that much information in it. And right now, we've got a lot of information. I mean, what happens if you put a gazillion colours in there? You've got an object with a different colour per face. It's possible. And have 2,000 faces. It's possible. I mean, it's stupid, but it's possible. Call it a glitter ball. Something stupid. Yeah. I've got to really put some thought into that. I've got to decide how we want to treat all of our information. Index can be just shortened to an index count, because we'll put them into a straight index, because we are using a straight index. We're not using a mixed one. We're not using an index that goes 1, 2, 7, 6, 5, 1, 5, 4, 2, 5. We're not using an index like that. We're just using an index that starts at 0 and goes to the end of the model and just draws the model in sequence. Because of that, that can just be an index count, so that can be shortened down to a single number. So that literally could be a single integer. So that is your count array dot size. Sorry. That's what that equals in my mind. So that's the only item I can see on there that is useful. That's on the graphics card, that's on the graphics card, that's on the graphics card. All of this is on the graphics card except for the bits we just decided not to bother with. So we've got that, and that at the moment. So, well, not that many. If I put that, that's the graphics card. A visual aid for me. That isn't on the graphics card. That texture will be on the graphics card. We've got that on the graphics card. That's on the graphics card already. We put that into something, or we've combined it with something else. That's on the graphics card. The colours are stored on the graphics card. Okay, so what do we actually need here? Material file name, no, don't need that. Use material, don't need. I can see. That was in the conversion of that. What are you after? You gonna be long? No. Use material file name. Okay. Right, that's my setup. There's nothing left down here, is there? So all I need to know is where everything is on the graphics card. That's handled by the VAO. So really, I just need VAO. No, don't be silly. VAO index count. Can you think of anything else? Oh yeah, and the texture. Texture ID, if there is one. Colours are already on there. That's on VAO. So the VAO is taking care of virtually everything. Index count and texture ID. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to think about this because this is starting to look good. And I will come back to you tomorrow with some answers, I guess, or whatever I come back to you next with. Thank you for stopping by, you peeps, and I'm going to catch you tomorrow. It looks like I've got visitors. Sorry about that, but normal life is dragging me away. I know. I'm going to leave it there, and I'll come back to this tomorrow with some good ideas, I hope. Discard changes. Thank you. And take care in the meantime. And of course, have fun.